Welcome to Hat Chat. I'm David Johnson, Master Hatter at DbarJHat Company here in Las Vegas. I'm the D and the J in DbarJHats. Today we're going to talk about what we call the Federalli hat. A little history is wanted by Mr. A.J. Penny, and we're going to kind of go through it a little bit. This hat here would be called what we call the Federalli hat, and the one with the crease in the front is the Texas Torpedo. And for cowboy shooters and people having fun, here's a red one for a lady. We do have friends who have had breast cancer, so think pink. And for you who are into Curious George the Man in the Yellow Hat, we can make them in about any color you want. We call it a Federalli hat because the Federalli police wore it. This was one of the most successful hats ever produced by the Stetson Company in the late 1800s, and it was called the Colonel McCoy. It came in up to 11 inches, this is 8.5, and you could get up to 6 inches of brim. Well, with today bodies, don't come that big, and this is about as large as you can get. We go 8.5, which was common, and we can get up to 5 inches of brim, and that's about the maximum we can get. So this is a close representation. They did wear them this size back in the 1800s, and they had much larger. So this has been a real popular hat in old cowboy days. And like I said, you see Curious George the Man in the Yellow Hat, Quick Draw McDraw wore one, and Bob Louie. Those are cartoons for you. You had pictures of many different cowboys on their horses in the Mex-Tex borders wearing these hats in art, on bronze statuary. So it looks goofy to us today, but it was a real popular hat in the 1800s. Your taller hats have more airspace, so when you sweat in this hat, it gets damp, it evaporates off, so you have an evaporative cooler on your head because you don't have air conditioning or refrigeration. So these are very cool hats if you're working in them, and a derby, which is very short, has very little airspace and can tend to be very hot because there's no place for your steam to escape. So that's briefly it for Federalli's Texas Torpedoes. And if you have any questions you'd like answered or a subject to talk about, email us at dbarj@yahoo.com. Make your next brand the DbarJ brand. Signing off, David Johnson at DbarJHat Company.